Okay. Hello, 1A/B. This week we are covering campana instruments. We're starting to go into campana instruments. One such instrument is often known as campana de bongo, a companion instrument of the bongo. A lot of the realities of the instruments are that they, traditionally reflect life realities in our own life. A lot of times to get the most out of ourself, out of our own expression, be able to live our truest, authentic selves. We also need a companion, whether that's a loved one, a pet, a plant, whatever it might be. So, one such companion instrument is campana de bongo. Often thought of as the cowbell, but there's many instruments that look like this that are not necessarily cowbells. One such is the salsa bell. It's a lot wider, has a very different tone. Another is agogo bells. Not go-go bells, but agogo bells. There's a lot of different kinds of bells like these that are all often, sadly, grouped into as cowbells, even though they're not cowbells. Many of them have deep and rich historical efficacy, historical context. Of course, they have the name cowbell. Let's think about it, because it goes on the neck oftentimes of cattle. A lot of these instruments history, the people's history with the instruments comes from agricultural societies, a lot of enslaved people working on ranches, a lot of even people back in Africa who weren't necessarily enslaved but migrating with different herds. That cowbell or other animal bells, whether it's goat bells or other things, have a lot of significance because not only can you attach it to the animal so you can follow your source of community, your source of sustenance, your source of livelihood. So you're following it, you're keeping in time with it, you're nurturing it. But also you can train many animals to come to the feeding of a bell. We think about triangle feeding time. But even animals like fish have been trained to respond to the sound of bells coming back. In Japan, there were studies that over 90% of salmon in open ocean return to the sound of a bell for feeding, and they were able to grow them out without cages or antibiotics or nothing like that. It was amazing. So these, of course, have a lot of deep history, deep cultural history. The idea that it's calling you in to be fed for community, to you're supposed to follow it as well. A lot of those roots, those ideas, those feelings are evoked in the music and the way that they're played in the music. So let's go over some technique. I hold my hand and I'm gonna hold it deep in my hand. Why? Because if I don't, not only can it fall out like that, but you don't have as much control. It only makes kind of one tone. Of course, you can play with the tip on the back or up front to get different tones, but if you sit one of these kinds of bells deep in your hand, you also have the ability to muffle or not muffle it. So you can go. You can do a lot of different things. All right. We're gonna go over a little beat that we're gonna try to play with it in our next video. Cha-cha-cha. Okay.